Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
Hello, welcome to a Homespun house. My name is Molly and I am the owner, hand dyer of a homespun house. And I am so happy that you all have decided to join me and spend a little bit of your day here with me as I chat about all of the things that I have been knitting and working on. We actually got snow over the weekend and for the last week actually. And it has really made me feel so cozy indoors, especially when I sit in my winter garden and knit and I feel like I'm just in a snow globe as all of the snow comes down and I can just cozy up, watch the snow fall and knit to my heart's desire. So I have spent a little bit more time working on my sock garland that I shared in the last episode. So if you haven't seen it yet, I've just been knitting these really sweet little socks, and I plan to make a garland for wintertime Advent season that will hang from our fireplace just for a cozy little look and feel. So I only added 2 of these. This is my own pattern. There is not a pattern for these. I mentioned how I make them in the last episode. So if you're interested in seeing that, it will be the first episode that I put out this February of 2025. I love this one. It's so minimal and sweet and has just really fun little, very sparse speckles. And then this is the other one that I knit. This is more of a warm toned orangey red. And now that brings my count to 10. I don't know how I'm going to hang these, what sort of a garland I'm going to use. If I'll do an I-cord, which is quite stretchy, so I don't know about that. If I will do crochet chain, I think that would just be much too thin. If I'll get some sort of a felted cord, velvet, I really need to give it a thought how I want to hang these and what I think the best case for these would be. And I also need to think about exactly how many I want to knit for our fireplace, what will hang there really nicely. So I haven't decided yet if I want to do an odd or an even number. I really need to give that a thought also. While we're on the train of socks, I realized that in the last episode, there were 4 socks that were missing and that I did not get a chance to share with you. I knit these with all of our 4 Sunday of Advent socks. They're all really pretty. So I have 4 pair of socks to share with you. So each Sunday of Advent, they're probably my favorite socks that I knit every year. I just have so much fun with the colors and the textures and the patterns. And I really enjoy dyeing this yarn as well. So this is our first, I think this was the first one that came out. This is Chestnut Lodge. And I think this is the Rye Light sock pattern by Tin Can Knits. And I had a lot of fun knitting these. So I used a 2.25 millimeter needle. And I don't know, I don't often count how many rows I do for the top, but I'm guessing it was about 25 rounds of knit 1, purl 1. And then I knit quite a long leg. And all of these socks will fit, I would say, an 8 to a 9, 9.5, depending upon what sort of an ease you would like them. So this is Chestnut Lodge, and I'm still considering bringing these back as a pre-order in the shop. Otherwise, they won't be back in the shop until winter of 2025. But I know I've had a lot of people interested in knitting these socks. So it's something that, I don't know, I might bring back this spring. So here these are. I love a contrast cuff and toe. So these are sweet. And then the second sock, I'm going to have to guess that it was Sugar Plum Dreams. And I knit a pattern by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. I think this is one that I'll probably do again because I loved knitting this pattern so much. It was just the perfect amount of having to think while you're knitting, but not too much thinking. And it gave, I don't know, it gives the socks just a really pretty and fun detail to it. So I knit the leg also, just once again, really long on these socks, just because I enjoyed the pattern and I really enjoyed knitting the yarn. So I think this pattern will give a really nicely fitted sock. Again, 2.25 millimeter needle. This looks like I knit the cuff maybe, oh no, I knit it the same, but I think because it's a lighter color, it just tends to look shorter. So I thoroughly recommend this pattern. It was so much fun. And then the next two socks that I knit are actually the same exact pattern, just one of my own textured patterns that I came up with. And I've knit a few years of 4 Sunday of Advent socks using this pattern just because I love it so much. So this was the 3rd Sunday of Advent, and this is our All is Silent colorway. This is maybe my favorite of the 4 Sundays. I probably did the same cuff, even though now it looks shorter because it's a darker color. It's so funny how that works. These ones I did knit a bit longer because I'm going to be giving them as a gift. So I really love this pair and this texture. Again, 2.25 millimeter needle. So much fun. And then the final colorway, I don't remember. This is the one that I have a really difficult time remembering the name. I think that this might have been Morning Cinnamon Rolls, but I'm not exactly sure. So this is the same texture. Doesn't this have so many fun pops of color in this tasty chocolatey brown sock? So I think they all kind of pair really well together. You could have knit an entire pattern using all 4 of these colors because I do try to make them kind of look nice together. If you plan on doing something, you could knit a blanket with this, with the contrasting stripes being little stripes in between. I think these would be perfect for a cozy comfort throw. They would be perfect for a habitation throw, any sort of blanket that requires striping. And even though you would have small and then really thick stripes, I think it would work out great. So here are these. I do have my next sock, and I'm pretty sure sweater cast on. So we have a new colorway in the shop. Isn't this so fun? This is called Diagonally. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be knitting a sweater out of this using our MCN, so Merino Cashmere Nylon fingering weight base. However, this is one of our sock sets, and I really am tempted also to cast on a sock set with this yarn because I love it so much. So this will be coming to my needles soonly. I have been having so much fun knitting up my cozy Bouclé blanket. This is a really fun club that we have going on in the shop. And again, you don't have to start with the January club. I think you could get away with a 6 to 8 stripe blanket, a 10 stripe blanket also. However, I have finished knitting stripe number 1. This is our copper colorway. And you do get a pattern if you sign up for the January club. Otherwise, you can purchase this pattern on Ravelry. And then I have my second color, which is Bohemian, and I've started knitting our third color, which is actually the March colorway. And I can't share it with you, but it's my favorite colorway we've done. It is a speckled boucle, and I think it would make a really amazing, in fact, I have a sweater knit out of copper. I don't have one knit out of Bohemian, but the third color is so good. I would love to share it with you. So it's a simple blanket pattern. We still have January, February, and March in the shop. I constantly have those of you wanting it or writing emails to me about it while it was closed saying, please let me get in on January, February, and March. I don't just want to start with the March skein, but I need to close this yarn club. So January's and February's are going to be closing at the end of this week. I think I said that in the last podcast, but since then, we've had so many pleas to keep it open that I have. I'm happy that I did. So it will be closed this Sunday, January's and February's. If you want to get in on the club and start knitting with us, if you sign up for January, you're going to get an email of the pattern with a code to then get it on Ravelry once it's listed very soon. So you have it in your Ravelry library if you use Ravelry. That's just how it has to be. I can't keep it open forever. So I'm really enjoying knitting that. It's a super simple blanket pattern to follow. I recommend it to newbie knitters, and it's a lot of fun. You have a stripe to knit every single month, and it's fun. We're all knitting a blanket together. And I'm really enjoying knitting it. The final thing that I'm knitting on is my Jenny sweater. I'm knitting this out of our gumdrop colorway, which is bum ba da bum, finally in the shop. This is one of my favorite tonals. I've dyed up more for myself just because, as you see, I have both of the arms attached. Is that not so exciting? So last time when I showed it to you, I was still knitting on the body, and I don't think I had cast on an arm yet. So I've knit both of the arms. And the funny thing is, I dyed 3 skeins of the main color, which I am knitting with a merino cashmere alpaca silk. And I dyed up 3 skeins of our mohair silk. This is all I have left of the mohair silk. And I've completely run out of the main color, which is insane because I usually, when I'm knitting a sweater for myself, I usually knit 2.5 skeins of fingering weight yarn. So 200 to 250 grams. This is 300 grams. Now, I think that's because of all of these wrapped stitches. It just uses so much yarn. I'm sure it said that in the pattern, but I didn't read how much yarn I needed. I just know when I knit a PetiteKnit pattern, I need 200 to 250 grams, and I always have 300 grams for myself of fingering weight yarn. Just because, and it was nowhere near enough. So I dyed the yarn for myself. Came out too light, which is why I always recommend, if you want a sweater quantity from us, to purchase it all in one under the dyed to order section so that you don't have that sort of a problem, because this is all hand dyed yarn. I dye all of this yarn by myself, and it doesn't matter if I'm weighing it, measuring it, if the humidity is off in the room, if the temperature of the water is off just by a little bit, it can completely change the way that the yarn looks with the dye. So yeah, the dye was, I don't know, was probably 2/3 the saturation, and so I needed to add some more, and that's when measurements couldn't help me at all. I just needed to guess and slowly dye, and that is in the oven as we speak, and I hope that when I take it out, it's a pretty good match for my yarns here. Really, really hoping. But I guess you learned something, and next time I need to dye 4 and not 3, regardless of what I'm thinking. So I'm enjoying this pattern so much. It's very, very easy to knit. It's a lot of fun because it's constantly changing. It's like a stripy yarn, a textured pattern, as this is, changes up constantly, and I'm always interested in this knit. You have quite a bit of rest rows in between, and I think that's something that makes this a lot of fun and so desirable to knit on. Not just that, but also the happy color of this bubble gum, or as I call it, gumdrop pink. And it's just so soft. I can't wait to wear this. I think it's going to be a really nice, cozy, but also beautiful house sweater. And yeah, I'm really excited to wear it, but I'm also really enjoying knitting on it. My next sweater is definitely going to be a PetiteKnit sweater again, because I'm wearing a PetiteKnit sweater, I'm knitting on a PetiteKnit sweater, and pretty much all of the sweaters that I knit are PetiteKnit patterns, and I really, really love knitting her patterns. I love wearing her patterns. They're not very shapely, but I like my sweaters to be a bit loose. Sometimes I like them a bit cropped. Actually, almost always I like them a bit cropped. And I think this is the first one that I made a bit more oversized, a bit longer, which could also be why I need more yarn for it. I really love the way that they fit. Her patterns are easy to follow. And if there is something like the smocking stitch, which is in the Jenny sweater, she has a great video for it. And the way that she knits her smocking stitch is better than any way I've ever seen anyone knit it. So if you're knitting something with a smocking stitch, regardless of whether it's PetiteKnit, I recommend checking out how she does it, because she has a foolproof, amazing way of knitting it, where you're not switching. It's not like cabling where you switch from one needle to the next. It's just absolutely fabulous. So, loving my knitting lately. I'm enjoying cozying up because we are in winter holidays right now. Here in Germany, we don't have a really long summer vacation like in America. We always take the time, at least a bit of the holiday time, with the girls when they don't have school. So we try to plan some time outside, some time away. So this winter holiday season, we are going to our bungalow, doing a little bit of work there. We do have snow on the ground here, but I think it will be melted by the weekend. Then we'll be headed off to the mountains with a family of our friends, and they'll be bringing a friend as well. So we'll have 5 children, but we'll have so much fun wandering out in the mountains, in the woods, swimming in the pool, going into the sauna, eating lots of tasty food. And I'm really, really excited for it, looking forward to it. I know it's something that I think we all need. This little break amongst our busy work weeks, and hope you all have something that you can look forward to as well. Enjoying a conversation with a friend, or going to the mountains and having some time away with your family and friends. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I am wishing you all a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you all soon.